Really proud of our guys. It was 2020 in a nutshell. We get to the stadium, we're getting ready to go into warm-ups, and you find out there's a possibility of a lightning delay. There's talk that it might be an hour long. So again, it takes your routine, it takes your best laid plans, like everything this year, and you kind of throw it to Susan. We ended up getting the green light that we could kick off on time, but we had to completely change our warm-up routine. Everything was different for the guys, and like they've done with everything this year, they've handled all of just the adversity of just the lack of routine and structure, and they handled it so well. To get the ball, we were a little bit weird in pregame warmups. You could see some of the guys just not in their routine. But then that ball gets snapped. We focus. Great first drive. Really take control in the first quarter of the game. So like I say every week, I'm just in awe of our guys and their ability to adjust with all the things that get thrown at them in this calendar year, and they were worthy victors tonight.
All right, Coach. Our first question is going to come from David Furones of the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, of course, after a win like this, we all know Clemson comes in 2 weeks after this bye. What are these 2 weeks going to be like for you guys?
Well, we just told them in the locker room we were going to face our most difficult opponent of the year, and that's not Clemson in 2 weeks. No disrespect to them. It's going to be this off week. And again, making sure that everyone makes great decisions. Again, you lose a little bit of the structure routine of game week. We'll give them a couple of off days because that's what you have to do during a bye week. So it is so important that we give ourselves the opportunity to have everybody in that locker room go play Clemson. So that more than anything matters. Of course, there'll be some guys we can get back, that are a little bit, bumps and bruises type deals, but really focused on being smart this bye week, continue to protect this program and give us a chance to play, obviously with the team we got a ton of respect for.
All right, next we're going to go to Andrea Adelson from ESPN. Andrea, go ahead.
Manny, do you feel like the gap is really this large between the two programs based on the performance that you had and their performance tonight?
I always think it's always difficult in a one-off game to try to make, statements, which is what, that's certainly your job. But look, we played a game one night. It went the way that it went. I don't, that's for someone else to judge. I thought the key of the game was our possession downs. Third down and fourth down, especially early in the game. We talk about being relentless on offense, but you got to stay on the field. And when you look at 11 for 16 on third down, which means you didn't make 5 of them, you go 3 or 4 on fourth down. So when the down got to third, we basically converted every time but 1. That keeps the offense on the field. That adds to snaps to their defense. So it made it look a certain way. But those third down plays, whether it was the lineman doing a great job blocking, Garrett goes some tough catches down the field. I really thought in the first half that was the key to our victory.
Next, we're going to go to Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Diaz. What happened with Jalen Phillips, I guess? We saw that he had to leave the game, but, what kind of led to that, the unsportsmanlike call? And then also, if you have an update on Brevin Jordan, we saw him walk off the field, and I think he eventually came back, but was everything okay with him?
Yeah, Brevin was fine. Jalen had 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. One after his, amazing play on the interception, and then another one later on, and he knew actually going into that drive. Said, hey, listen, once you have one, another one, disqualifies you. He felt awful about it. I think it's a great teaching lesson, not just for Jalen, but for everybody else on the roster. But full credit to Cam Williams, Jafari Harvey. Some of even Pat Joyner went there and did some nice things, Chance Williams. So it really gives some other guys a chance to step up.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to David Lake from InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, just wanted your general thoughts on how the team did handle success this week. You mentioned that was definitely a key coming off the Louisville game. Is it fair to say it went well today, in your opinion? And then also just the change you made on the offensive line with Zion Nelson. What was the thinking there?
Yeah, honestly, I do think we had a great attitude and a great focus all week, and I think it showed the way that we started the game. It's hard to play and have a bye. We learned that a year ago. We know that's a very difficult position for Florida State to be in, so we wanted to really start fast because sometimes you lose your game edge when you really don't start the season and get in that game rhythm. So again, very proud, and I'll tell you that locker room right there is not satisfied. They still know that we can play a lot better and less some things out on the field. The offensive line, John Campbell got dinged up a little bit last week at Louisville. He was available to go tonight, but and really worked his tail off. Our training staff did a great job with him all week to make him available, but Zion took the majority of the snaps on Tuesday and Wednesday practice, so he earned the opportunity to play, and when he went out there, he did a really nice job.
Next, we're going to go to Gary Furman from Canesport. Gary, go ahead.
Hey, Manny, when you went out and got red, obviously you were pointing towards the kind of results that you've gotten here so far this year. But now that you have a 3-game body of work, are you as astounded kind of like as everybody else around the country at this transformation of the Miami offense and how explosive you guys are now?
Well, I mean, again, number one, it's still early, but we felt. Here's what I'll tell you. What we look at is what's going on in practice. We saw something in 4 days in spring. Then we came back in training camp and saw some signs that this could be what it is. But we still have a long way to go. And obviously the things that De'Aaron can do, and again, the on possession downs makes it look the way that it looks. So I don't think anybody's sitting around and satisfied with where we're at, but I think it's certainly pleased with the way the first 3 weeks have gone.
All right, Coach, our last question comes from David Wilson from the Miami Herald. David, go ahead.
Hey, Manny, sort of following up on that a little bit, Derek completed passes to 10 different receivers today. Just the way that he is kind of gaining comfort in this offense, it seems like every week. Just how much are you seeing the progress from week 1 to now?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. And obviously the way that the other team plays is going to change. And I have to mention, by the way, and again, credit to our offense staff and De'Aaron and our offensive line, they played a completely different defense in the first half of the game than they played in the opener. Completely different. Instead of a 4-down team, they went to be a 3-down team, played a different coverage look. So again, very similar to what UAB did, not the same defense, but just all of a sudden you got the game plan, you got to adjust on the fly. So for those kids to not panic, for the staff to not panic, and give us a chance to have the performance we had in the first half with a completely, basically just going blind on what they were doing, I thought was really, really impressive, and again, gives us a lot of confidence going forward.
Coach Diaz, thanks for taking the time to talk with us, and congrats on the victory.
Okay, thank you all.